Agriculture. Introduction. Agriculture is the most fundamental form of human activity and includes not only growing of crops but also domestication of animals. The word agriculture is derived from the Latin word ager or agri, meaning soil, and culture, meaning cultivation or tilling of soil. Forestry and fishing are also included in agriculture. A systematic practice of tilling and cultivation of soil, raising crops, rearing animals, and practicing fishing is jointly called agriculture. Agricultural land is thus the most basic of the world's vast and varied resources, which feeds, clothes, and shelters human masses. With the progress of civilization, man has found various means to advance agricultural productivity to meet the demands of its growing population. Canals have been dug up, better seeds have been developed, and improved methods of tilling the land have helped to increase the annual harvests. The use of steam, oil, gas, and hydroelectric power has allowed the farms to be mechanized. This has not only increased the productivity per hectare but also brought more and more areas under farming. Types of agriculture. Different kinds of farming are practiced in varying environmental conditions. Agricultural activities may be divided into two broad categories: subsistence farming and commercial farming. Subsistence agriculture. It is a form of primitive agriculture. It is found in some parts of the equatorial and tropical forests where people use simple implements and produce food for their own consumption. The specialization of crops is not possible in this system. This system includes three types of agricultural practices, that is, nomadic herding, shifting cultivation, and intensive agriculture. Nomadic herding is practiced by people who rear cattle, sheep, goat, camels, and yak. The existence of these animals depends on the natural vegetation of the area they are found in. Herders move from one place to another in search of fodder. Nomadic herding is found in parts of West and Central Asia, Northern Eurasia, East and Southwest Africa, and the Sahara Desert. Shifting cultivation. The shifting cultivator clears a patch of ground by felling trees and cutting the bushes and grasses. These are then burnt, and hence it is also known as slash and burn agriculture. Cultivation is done with very primitive tools such as sticks and hoes, without the aid of machines or draught animals. The cultivators keep on shifting from one part to another, where they clear new patches of ground. Shifting cultivators have different names in different places. Example: Milipa in Central America and parts of Africa, Conco in Venezuela, Proca in Brazil, Masale in Zaire, Ladang in Malaysia, Kengin in the Philippines, and Beaver or Jumias or Poda in India. Much manual labor is needed in land clearance to produce food for a few people. The main crops grown are starchy foods. Example: tapioca, cassava, yams, maize, or corn millet, beans, and bananas. Shifting cultivation has been criticized on two counts. First, it has led to deforestation and loss of natural vegetation. Secondly, it leads to soil erosion and soil loss. Intensive agriculture. This type is confined to monsoon lands of Asia. It is found in China, Japan, Korea, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka and parts of insular Southeast Asia like Java, Luzon, coastal Sumatra and Malaysia. The farmers in these regions work on their small-size holdings with the help of their families. They use improved or high-yielding varieties of seeds, farm manure, chemical fertilizers for soil fertility. They use insecticides and pesticides, and there are arrangements for irrigation of water. All these factors increase the per hectare productivity. Commercial agriculture. In this type of farming, the main aim of the farmer is to produce crops for sale in the market. Therefore, crop specialization is one of its characteristics. Two major forms of this type of agriculture are found in the world: the commercial grain farming in middle latitudes and the plantation agriculture in tropical regions. In most parts of the middle latitudes, specialization in wheat production has been attained at commercial level. Prairies in North America, Ukraine, Western Europe, Argentina in South America, southern parts of Australia, and Punjab, Haryana and plains of western Uttar Pradesh in South Asia have attained such specialization. Most of the operations in this type of agriculture are done by machines, as usually there is plenty of land but less labor is available. Wheat is the most important crop grown in India. In USA, there are distinct wheat, corn and cotton belts. The population density in the developed countries of Canada, USA, etc. is low, hence availability of land per person is very high. Farms are of big sizes, covering over hundreds of hectares. Farms are mechanized. Tractors, levelers, seed drills and combined harvesters are used. As a result, extensive agriculture is practiced here. Extensive agriculture. The major regions under extensive agriculture are prairies of Canada and United States of America, pampas of Argentina, steppes of Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan, and downs of Australia. The size of the farm in this system is large. The farming operations are fully mechanized and the number of human laborers is very low. Tractors for plowing, seed drills for sowing, and combined harvesting and threshing are used. Specialization in one or two crops is another important feature. For example, wheat is the main grain commercially produced. In areas where commercial farming is extended to rearing of animals, mixed farming is practiced. Mixed farming. Equal emphasis is laid on crop farming and livestock rearing in this kind of farming. Farmers produce cereal crops but also fodder and cash crops. Modern machinery, selected seeds and chemical fertilizers are used. Crop rotation is practiced. Mixed farming is practiced in North America, Western Europe and the Fertile Triangle of Russia. Root crops like oats and wheat are grown along with corn in America. In addition to dairy animals, farmers keep pigs and poultry also. Dairy farming. Cattle rearing, particularly rearing of milch cows to meet the demand of milk and milk products in urban areas, is referred to as dairy farming. It is an advanced type of farming involving use of scientific methods. The three largest areas in the world where dairy farming is practiced in intensive form are North America, Australia and New Zealand. Europe, Denmark and the Netherlands are best known dairy producers. In India, dairy farming has been organized on a sound footing in Gujarat through dairy cooperatives. Central Fodder Research Institute Jhansi and National Dairy Research Institute Karnal have been conducting researches on dairy development. While the most important milch animal is cow in other parts of the world, it is buffalo in India. Plantation Agriculture. It means producing planted trees or bushes which give yields over a period of years. This type of farm organization has developed within the tropics and subtropics. It was developed in the early days of colonization when the industrial nations of Western Europe wanted tropical and subtropical products for their manufacturing units. The British started tea gardens in India on the Assam hills, Darjeeling and Sri Lanka, and rubber estates in Malaysia. The French established cocoa and coffee plantations in the Cameroon and Ivory Coast. The Dutch set up sugar plantations in Java. The Americans set up coconut and sugar plantations in Philippines. Plantations may have different crops, but their general characteristics are similar. They require efficient and scientific methods of cultivation, special types of implements, skilled but cheap local labor, and worldwide marketing facilities. A plantation is thus a large unit producing a single crop on a scale that resembles factory production. The important plantation crops are rubber, coffee, tea, cotton, bananas, coconut, cocoa, sisal, oil palm, pineapples, and cinchona. Plantation farming requires large capital investment, hence it is undertaken by companies backed by large capital resources and with proper managerial skills.